Thanks for dropping in again at McIntyre's Classic Chevy. Today will be episode 4 of the rocker repair and install on our wagon I've nicknamed Tetanus. We'll be finishing up this series by installing the B-pillar. Come on, let's go. Since the last video in this series, you may note that we have the rocker now fully installed. In the episode 1, we dealt with this area at the A-pillar. Episodes 2 and 3, we had to work on this, what we call the dog leg, and we did some repair in here. You can see that this has all been installed. The rocker's now fully welded. Everything is ground off. So the only thing left to complete this series now is the B-pillar. This area between the two doors on a 4-door sedan is called a B-pillar. So we need to remove this. We have extensive rust, and I've already cut it off in an arbitrary spot, as I showed you in a previous episode. But we noticed that there's a lot of pitting in this B-pillar, and it might be a good idea, if you can get the donor parts, to just replace the whole B-pillar. It sounds like a big job. It may look a little intimidating, but I think when we dissect it, you'll see that it's going to be probably just as easy to replace the whole pillar as it would be to do just a section. But when we look up here, how this is attached, it's not quite obvious at first how it would come apart or how it was put together. It almost would appear as if this metal post is the same as the rest of the roof, but it's not. There is a seam right here, there's a joint, another lead joint here, and a lead joint here that comes around underneath. Now, if you have a donor piece available, it's always nice if you can cut a section out of your donor car that's beyond the piece that you need. The benefit of that is sometimes you get an insight on how it's put together. So here, let me show you what I mean. We have our new B-pillar sitting right here. This is our replacement piece. If you'll notice, the roof skin is gone, but the rest of it is here. So what we have is we can look at the cross section, and we can tell that there is a factory seam right here. This metal stops right here at the drip rail. It wraps underneath. So what we need to save is everything on the inside. Save this metal along here, but everything above this joint up here will go away. This will stay on our car, but it will be removed from our donor piece. Down at the bottom is something similar. We still have the inner rocker and the outer rocker attached. So what they've done on the donor was to simply cut through here and saved everything intact, so that now we can take away what we don't need. This is the rocker panel, this is the inner, and we're going to remove that so that we save this portion. We're going to save this inner structure here, around here. We also have to save this little tab and this little triangle piece. There's some spot welds on here that will be carefully drilled so that we can remove the items that we don't need that are already on here. So once our old rocker is removed, you can see that this piece will fit right on our new rocker. Alright, we have the B-pillar cleaned up, ready for install. You can see that we removed everything off of the top. This is the only thing that's necessary to go back on. Down at the bottom, we've removed the rocker. Got it out of the way. And if you notice that I removed this little triangle piece at the beginning, it was in the way here of all of these spot welds. The reason I removed it was so I could drill these out. We're going to maintain this piece, keep this piece, and it will go on last. After we've installed the rocker and plug welded, the last thing we'll put this back on. So we want to make sure you don't lose this or damage this piece. Now I've noticed one thing will be a problem. I have the bracing coming off of this B-pillar at the upper post here. This has been screwed to the door hinge plate at the bottom so that I could use it as a locating device on the new B-pillar. So I need to detach this brace from the upper post so we can get rid of this section. I'm afraid if I do that, I may lose some rigidity with the rest of the structure. It's likely that it would be okay, but just in case, I've decided to go ahead and add another brace right in here. I'm going to weld this in to triangulate everything, to pick up a little bit of this and hopefully just stabilize it while we remove the B-pillar. Alright, now it's time to attack this B-pillar. Okay, we've got our brace cut loose. One thing you'll notice is a piece of trim up here. There's a little tiny piece of metal and a trim attached to it. We have to remove this. This will unbolt from the car. You'll notice on a 4-door model, there are 3 different scenarios that can happen in this area. This is at the top of the B-pillar, right at your drip rail. If you have a 4-door sedan, let's say a 150 model or a 210 model, if it's a 4-door sedan, you will have no stainless. This stainless in this configuration only occurs on the 4-door wagons, and I believe it's only on the 210 and Bel Air models. I think on the 150 models, this would not. It would be similar to this. Now, if you have a Bel Air wagon or 210 wagon, this would be the situation. This would be for a 150 wagon or 150 car or 210 car. Now, so this is your situation of what the wagon looks like right here. You have this this is what we're dealing with on this particular model. This is another option. The third option would be a Bel Air 4-door sedan. It would have the same metal configuration, but a much larger piece of stainless that would correspond with the piece of stainless along the top of the doors. So you can see there's 3 possibilities in this one little area. Maybe you never noticed that before, but now you will. It's no bueno. Probably going to have to destroy it. The nut's too corroded. Let me get some vice grips. Get a wrench and unscrew that. Now we're about ready to test fit this new B-pillar. Got it trimmed up a little bit. We're going to set it right in here. See how she fits. Look at that. Just like it's supposed to be there. We'll go ahead and get this buttoned up. what I'll do is go ahead and screw this in, and I'll go ahead and tack it in a few places, make sure that I feel like it's where I want it. We'll do this to both sides. And then before we get it seriously welded into place, we'll go ahead and install the floor. Tack that into place, put the doors back on, make sure they're properly adjusted the way we like. And then once we were sure that everything fits the way we like it, we'll go ahead and weld all this up. If we have to cut it loose and make some adjustments, we can. But now you've seen basically what's involved with this, replacing the B-pillar. For those of you who may want to do a door conversion from a 4-door, a lot of people remove the B-pillar and slide it back 6 inches and reinstall it. This will allow room for the 2-door sedan door to come on. The difference, of course, is this jamb. If you do that, you'll have to modify your 4-door front door, and make it longer. This jamb is different than a 2-door sedan door, so it will not work. It looks like it would, but the difference is 6 inches, so you'd want to move it back. And then you'd want to stretch your front doors 6 inches, and then of course fill this in with the skin of the rear door. This is the standard procedure a lot of guys have used for a long time in converting a 4-door into a 2-door. There are other ways available now. Getting a 2-door sedan B-pillar for one, and 2-door sedan inner quarters would be the easiest way to make the conversion. Then you could use actual 2-door sedan doors. But if you don't have access to that, and you want to give it a try, you will have to stretch your front doors 6 inches, but then you just simply move this pillar back. Now you know how it all comes apart and how it goes back in. So this will conclude episode 4, the B-pillar. I think you have a very good idea of now how to remove the B-pillar and install a new B-pillar. Appreciate your time watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and look for future videos. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.